and welcome to the second day of our Blockchain Community Z conference. My name is Jan Mazurek, and I will have the privilege of being your host and moderator throughout the presentations today. Our first topic presented today is problem and solutions on examples of NFT products presented by Misha Yurchenkov. Fun fact about our speaker, he used to be an EPAMer working on blockchain projects, and he has the US design patent for the new mobile UI structure. Apart of that, he likes art, blockchain, and hiking. Throughout the presentation, I invite you to take advantage of the functionality of our Community Z portal, where you can comment the speech and raise any questions to the presenters. The most upvoted questions will be asked at the end of presentation during the Q&A session. With that said, let's welcome Misha, and I wish you all the pleasant experience with his presentation. And Misha, the stage is yours.
Hey, nice to be with you guys, and it is pleasure for me. And let's try to start. Let me share my presentation here. Let me know if you see it, please. Do you see it? Okay. Well, yes, as Jan told that we will talk about user experience of blockchain. Very interesting thing. And yeah, I'm Misha Yurchenkov. I'm UX UI designer and founder of cryptomem.art, the dedicated dedicated NFT platform. Yes, I worked in Loom Network, which was a blockchain company for a number of years, and took part in EPAM blockchain projects. So let's start our drive into a user experience of blockchain. What we are going to speak today: three things: basic user experience of blockchain, using the technology, intuitive and self-explanatory user interfaces, interaction examples, problems, and solutions. The second thing is crypto art and crypto collectibles, which is a nice and trendy example of using blockchain. Market overview, concepts, user psychology, value, and perspectives. And finally, the third thing is cryptomem.art, my startup, as an example of implementation of concepts and probably future vision of NFTs. Let's go forward. So, basic UX of blockchain. The explanation makes sense. The first question on the product level, which I faced with, was how we can use the potential of the technology for various industries and market segments, like fintech, document processing, gaming industry, and etc. And the main thing for any product is target audience. The blockchain community, enthusiastic people who already know the specifics of the technology. They read articles, know what to expect and how does it work, like we are here, right? But if you want to make product for a larger audience, we should explain it to everybody and show its competitive advantages. For example, speaking about document processing products, why storing documents information in blockchain is better than in protected corporative or state networks. Or most people are familiar with crypto financial stuff and investments, and money profit is an effective motivator. Yes, but starting using it make too much time and energy to understand sometimes, and may even demotivate user. Because blockchain is rather new thing and has no well-known analogies in real world, explanation becomes rather tricky. Here we can speak about verbal text explanation, illustrative explanation, and animated explanation. Gamification always may take place, but it mostly works for educational processes. Well, verbal or text explanation. A good way here is to find well-known analogies, which becomes target audience sensitive. I mean that, for example, my mom was perfectly accepted the explanation. Blockchain is an accounting book, the ledger, which owns all user at the same time of the moment. But which was absolutely unclear for younger person whom I interviewed, who didn't know what means ledger. For him was better work torrent analogies like crypto protected torrent something like this. Illustrations and animations. Illustrations with the text make it much easier for users to understand. But the best results I've got based on animations, where we showed principles and cases of technology with abstract figures. Like, for example, here, something like this, right? We can explain at the same time, talking about what blockchain is and how it works. And I found that this variation of explanation works much, much better. Yeah. So again, if our target audience is not blockchain enthusiasts, better to use animations for onboarding processes and test in on unprepared users who don't know what blockchain is. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Intuitive and self-explanatory user interface. Well, unprepared users should get the right expectations during the working process with any product, with any user interface. And blockchain has a lot of not obvious processes, which is hard to understand from the scratch. For example, deploying a smart contract or minting the token need to have a gas fee, right? And it doesn't have a fixed price and exactly predictable time of the operation. User can pay less than minimum gas fee and the operation may take a month or even never take place at all. All these things should be explained on unprepared user to an unprepared user without reading too much before using the product, or just understand during working with user interface. And in this case, we can use progress micro animations or illustrative animated schemes, which explain the process which going on. Speaking about gas fees, we probably may use time prediction illustrations, which will explain how much time operation may take based on previous experience, right? Pricing statistics of the past also can give a vision and give expectations which won't break motivation use this product. Another thing is so-called 5-second rule in user experience design. This means that the user should clearly understand where he or she is at the moment in 5 seconds. I mean, in which site, what this site is about. And blockchain products mostly look similar to common sites. One of the possible solutions is using the small header row, like here on the second illustration on the bottom, right? Mentioning that this is blockchain technologies. There are different other solutions which can show that we are now on the blockchain technology side. And let's take example of MetaMask as a progress or the whole user experience with blockchain technologies. In addition to those problems which I mentioned, like not hard to predict, to understand how much time it can take. Also, sometimes the MetaMask let user to pay less than minimum gas fee, and it will cause to super long implementation of smart contract or any process. So since this is a Chrome application, I mean MetaMask, the problem, in addition to all which I mentioned, is that if we will click outside of this model, it will be closed, it will close. And to open it, we need to click on its logo on Chrome extension bar at the top right of the browser. We can solve it with a targeting arrow near the positioning of its logo, or show more illustrative explanatory stuff. How does it work? How to install MetaMask and so on. And sure, I would mention that there is some progress with user experience, and here we see the previous version on the left top corner of the presentation of the user interface of MetaMask, which have in fact very confusing to the same functionality elements here, the hamburger menu and 3-dot menu, which in conventional design, it has the same functionality. And here we have vertical 3 dots menu, just one element, which is much simpler. Another name of it is kebab menu. So we see the progress, right? Yeah, and conclusion about all this stuff which I told about user experience, basic user experience things. During my researches, an animated explanation of blockchain products works much better than text-heavy ones. And sometimes it really makes sense for user better to understand the advantages of your product and finally decide to use it. During working on user experience of blockchain products, we should define motivation-sensitive factors like timing, and so on. Explain it inside the user interface, what to expect, show alert information if you think it may too much time again, I mean, the motivation sensitive stuff. Show opportunities to cancel operations. Sometimes it's not possible to cancel operations, at least in MetaMask. Yeah, and give rough forecast of how much time it will take. And again, define motivations. And one of the successful examples of using blockchain is crypto art and crypto collectibles, NFTs, trendy thing, right? And let's talk about it. I love it, at least. There is a number of NFT platforms like OpenSea, Marketplace, Rarible, Super Rare, and etc. And for example, in the first 3 weeks of March 2021, OpenSea recorded 82.5 million in transactions volume for sale, and Rarible took 24, a little bit more than 24 million. Speaking about types of NFTs, there are art like images or animations, domain names, virtual worlds, trading cards, collectibles, sports, and utilities. And nearly 2 weeks ago, even 1 week ago, the music type was added to OpenSea marketplace. Concept of digital art collectibles. So the idea of digital art originals was in the air a few years ago. And when it came to my head, I started to interview people about how friendly and simple for understanding is it. And the explanation that this is the same to original of painting, but in digital world, was absolutely accepted mostly by all categories of users I interviewed, from a lady in a grocery to IT developers. The reason is that it has a well-known analog in material world. The most question was, yeah, it's absolutely clear, but who really needs it? Later, I will tell that this question changed in a much more positive way. People now much better understand needs of crypto protected digital originals. But at those time, at least, the answer was crypto community needs it. And again, crypto community is most active, but small yet part of the market. I guess it will rise up. At least I believe in it. Few words about the concept of ownership of digital assets. It will let us to understand better the opportunities and limitations of this market segment. And if we will take material piece of art, well, this is one object existing in material world, the original. And because of we live in digital world already a pretty long time, we can make limitless images and copies, like images on the web of famous painting, or make copies, print, and so on. And we are not talking about image itself. I mean, image itself is not original. We're talking about our mental understanding that this particular object was created by the genius at a very moment of insight of creation of this masterpiece, right? And this is the original. But this is mostly one piece, one material object. And if we are talking about NFT art original, technically we are talking about the link which stores in the token, the URI. And this is not one piece object, right? Not solid one. It can be anything, you know, the structure, the whole internet. But this should be valuable in cultural and mass recognition terms. It should be something we know and we love, right? I mean that crypto art is much more mental and abstract than material objects. And probably we're at the very beginning of the process of its inception into a market. Well, yeah, just a moment. Just a moment. Yeah, I lost my presentation a little bit. Well, yes. Yeah, concept of ownership of digital assets, right? A few words about it. Sorry. I'm really sorry. Yeah, value of art object, right? Yeah, sorry. Well, very shortly about value of art object. Well, it based on aesthetics and conceptual effect, its idea. Well known, for example, painting Black Square of Malevich is a poor concept, right? Its history, for example, a famous painting of Leonardo da Vinci, Salvator Mundi, was lost and been found later, which enriched its history and in fact affected to its price. It's sort of $500 million for sale, as I remember. Popularity should be well-known thing. Expert validation and first sale case. Art collector experience, since they are our potential users. Well, first thing is they admire the object of art, aesthetics, feelings, and feeling of being a part of masterpiece creation. If I own something which was created, I feel myself as a part of this process. Business value and feeling of ownership. Social communication, very important factor. Collectors need to show to other people and getting emotional approval of society. I mean, from friends and gender partners, let's say. And combining these principles and aspects, I would like to offer a few ideas which can be used for digital art originals and probably in near future in NFT industry. First thing, measure value in numbers. Unlike material art objects, digital ones can have value which can be represented in numbers. The number of likes and citations may directly affect the cost and also can be used for forecast of the NFT, right? Legitimization of NFT, of piece of art. To prevent frauds, I offer to use proof links when the author make a link for his or her social network page with a backlink to NFT page, any marketplace, to prove that he or she really made this NFT herself or himself. It should work for art objects which were created and published on the net before it was mint as an NFT. And materialization of NFT. I offer to make sort of stickers with QR code. In fact, any material object with QR code, so the owner will be able better to communicate with society. Glue this sticker on the back of MacBook, for example, or use it as a painting in the flat to show your friends that you own super duper hyper cool things. Yeah, and let's jump to cryptomem.org, music dedicated NFT platform, the project which I work on. I'm founder on it. And yeah, during my first interviews, I found that visual art objects don't initiate too much emotions of users, even they are crypto, they know what blockchain is. But the reaction to music as a digital original was much more vivid. My hypothesis was that music was a strong emotional effect on mass subconsciousness, and everybody can give an example of his or her favorite music song or group. There are even cult groups and fans and so on. I also found that music was not presented as NFT type in OpenSea, as I told at those time, at least it was 4 or 5 months ago. They just added a week ago nearly, so we are exactly in right time coming to the market probably. And we created MVP of NFT platform, which better prepared for music art originals. We offer to create interactive JS animated pages with templates. When musician or music publishing company need to have just a static image to create one, it also displays as an interactive animation on OpenSea or any other platform I wish. I will show it to you later. Well, it's much simpler and it has much better quality, smaller size, and better than just a video. We also added the sticker image with QR code, as I mentioned, to communicate with people offline, let's say, and we have proof link to be sure that this crypto meme, as we call NFT here, comes from real owner, from real music publishing company, or from artist, musician. And we started from local music groups. By the way, we found that they understood everything very easy and found incredible motivation from their side. We didn't set for sales it yet in OpenSea. I think that we will start promotion on the next week. We'll see the reaction of the market at least. Well, I think that near future, music NFTs crypto memes again, may become a significant source of revenue as a match production for musicians and music publishing companies, and maybe not just for crypto community. And definitely NFTs itself, the crypto art, crypto collectibles already became a sort of art, combining of art and financial phenomena in our society, in our humanity, let's say. And I guess that it's just the beginning of the very interesting start. Let me show very quickly how does it looks like. Our site. Well, yeah, it looks like this. The main page here with basic information. And if we'll move here, we will see crypto memes here. They've mostly done on templates, like this one is based on templates of quote CD player. Yes, this is local soft rock group. And it looks the same in the OpenSea marketplace NFTs. You don't hear the music, I do. Well, and we have also here the let's say free animations, not based on templates, like here. Yeah, this is rock group. Yeah, unfortunately, you don't hear probably the music. Anyway, again, templates, everything is very easy to create, QR code and so on. So few clicks, I would say, and you will get the NFT on OpenSea with trendy music type NFT direction. Well, thank you guys for listening me. Sorry, something happened. Sorry. Yeah, I'm ready to answer to your questions.
Thank you so much, Misha, for your presentation. And we actually have a couple of questions already posted on our Community Z portal, and also to our audience. Just a reminder that you can still post your questions as we still have some minutes with our speaker today. So the first question was raised by Daniel, and he says that animations are a great idea, and he agrees about the usage of information throughout animation. But there are but they take time to design and to create. Can you recommend any good tools for animation creation?
That's a cool question, in fact. Probably Figma may solve this problem. Thing is that definitely if you have a designer in your team, probably the simplest way, I mean, there are professional things like Adobe, After Effects, I mean, other stuff, very specific, but they are pretty complicated. And if you will ask your designer, could you please create a short animation, GIF or JS animation for us? I guess they will do it. But if we are talking about animation itself and the product itself, we should understand again for whom we are doing, we are creating this product. If these people already know everything, you don't need to explain too much. One thing. And another thing is that illustrations can also solve this problem, and very short signs also can solve these problems. Animation is cool, but if you don't have time or resources, any type of resources, you can make very short explanation text and very small illustrations. Probably it will improve and improve user experience of the blockchain products.
Mm-hmm. From my own experience, also just to share with the audience, I know that there is an interesting tool for doing animation called Crazy Talk Animator. It has already multiple versions. I think now we are on version 3 or version 4 for this one. So just, you know, to whoever would like to use this for animation purposes, it's one of the options for as a possibility. Another question that we have is also about the NFT when it comes to art in general. That isn't this harmful for the end user? Like, for example, we all know the long-going meme with "Never Gonna Give You Up" by Rick Astley, right? So technically, what if the label will sell this song as an NFT, and then one who buys it will delete it from YouTube?
Yes, this is very interesting question. The question of how can we prove that this NFT was created and the revenue, the income will go to the author, right? Mm-hmm. And yes, I believe that because we are at the very beginning of this culture of NFTs, right? Probably, I suppose that there will be sort of, legislation problems in future, and we will see some courts, processes, legal processes, which will try to solve any frauds or any, non-official creation of NFTs. Yes, and I also had the idea of creation of sort of expert society of NFTs. Those people who already inside of the industry, and they can vote. Can we tell that, for example, this piece of art is fraud or was created based on other piece of art? And they can vote, I think, and we will get sort of instrument which won't be personal. It will be impersonal, right? And will solve the problem. Was this NFT or piece of digital art original or not?
So yes, you are saying that we can have a forged art and fake art in as NFTs?
Of course. More than I've heard a lot of ideas from my friends. They told, okay, we have already popular NFTs and let's make their copies. People won't understand. That we just discuss it in our just for fun, for sure. We don't want to do it for sure, mm-hmm. But this is problem, and it will be solved, I believe, with proof links, which I mentioned already, and probably will put some legislation processes.
What if some people would like to make, an art out of making copies? Like, there are so many tribute bands, or there are so many covers, so many people trying to copy the style of someone.
If we are talking about music, yeah. So again, we are at the beginning of the process, and I suppose that there will be variations of one piece of art. For example, if we are talking about music, which is not directly visual, and it will contains from audio part, right, and visual part. And for example, combining different types of visual cover or interactive animations or something with one piece of music, it will be possible to create few variations of NFTs of the same music, original, digital original. But again, we should have a proof that it was created by publishing company or a real artist or someone who was the creator of this piece of art. That's for sure.
What if someone will create an NFT on behalf of the company and will claim the NFT as their own, and not being the part of the not have anything aligned with the original creator? Is that a possibility?
To be honest, I wouldn't say that I completely can answer this question, but my thoughts was, since I studied some stuff with official, I mean that, for example, it can be as a merch. I mean that there is official documents, the agreement with signing as about the, describing of merchandising production,
Mm-hmm.
its income, its revenue, and I guess that it will be. I think that possibly it can be a part of merch, and one one company will attack another individual who did not in the NFT in not official way in a court, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be close future, I think.
Okay. Another question that we have from one of our participants, from Alexander, is that NFT requires infrastructures. What happens if I buy NFT in an unfortunate location that has no future support? Will I lose my asset and will not be able to prove ownership to anyone?
This is another super cool question. In fact, for example, for OpenSeas, at least, they store the images on Google Cloud Storage, as I remember, on one hand. On the other hand, as I also understand, they have their own place where they keep variations, probably, or backup, let's say, of images and animations. And as I understand, this is the only protection for now. And if something will happen on the side, back side of storage system, I guess there will be a problem here. And there is a way also to keep files and images and all other stuff in decentralized way. I don't remember exactly what the name of those of this product, but I believe that yeah, unfortunately it's not free. This is why they don't use it always. And I think that it's another question which should be solved in near future, when users will keep images or the content of the NFTs with decentralized, more protected way.
Mm-hmm. And does the business model of the NFT art is basically the same as the normal art, meaning that just people are trading it and the price depends on the demand and the supply of NFT artifacts?
Well, the business model of art is various. I mean that the artists participate in industry and they don't just sell originals. But if we're talking about pure selling of paintings, right? Yes, the market of conventional material art is pretty specific. Based on demand on one hand, on the other hand on expert vision of this product and first sale case. Here I believe that this is the same, and as I feel that the value of art object, digital art object, based on its perception of mass subconsciousness or consciousness, I mean that a lot of people should know it and should love it. And if something is very beautiful but no one knows it, it's not valuable, it doesn't cost a lot. And yes, it based on these principles, I guess. And strictly answering your question, yes, almost is the same, at least right now.
And in that case, because having this digital art, and I'm talking about here paintings, graphics, or some images, you basically resign from all of those needs of physical location, physical guards, some expositions. So technically, the cost of owning this kind of art is lower than having this somewhere placed in the museum. What builds the price in that particular case? Because we sometimes see those NFT arts going for really large amount of money. Is it just people who's willing to pay this money for that NFT art?
Yes, this is also pretty tricky question. And as I heard yesterday's presentation about digital money theory, the first thing what the professor, as I remember, he told that, in fact, we don't know what money is. And here is, I would say, the same. How much money people will be ready to pay for this element? I mean, for this NFT. So that's the psychology again. And there is no, like sort of technical mechanism explanation that this depends on this and these factors. It's very not stable, I would say, on one hand. On the other hand, as we know, you can set the fixed price in OpenSea marketplace. For example, I will set it for
auction.
For auction, thank you. Yes, and if people will pay more for this element, it will be okay. And another thing, I suppose, financial aspect of NFTs, that people who buy it think that they will sell it for more money later on one hand. On the other hand, if we are talking about collector psychology and all this stuff, if you will read any articles about it, most experts say that you collect the art object not because of you want to earn money. You just want to keep it. You want, I mean, to own it and to get those cool feelings that you own it. For example, if we are talking about super duper famous GIF NFT, right? And if you will say, I'm the only in the world owner of this NFT, of this GIF, it will give you, first of all, feelings that you are a cool guy. And also you will get positive reactions from the society, from your friends, which also makes sense probably. And for example, why people buying super duper cool cars for millions of dollars? Probably to show that they're cool, right? Because of they can buy worse car for less money. And here I believe that the same effect, psychological effect, if you have a money, you need to show that you have a money.
So there can be only one piece of image with the NFT certification, right? There cannot be. I mean, imagine we would have an NFT for Mona Lisa painting. So there can be only one NFT Mona Lisa painting, or can there be multiple?
Yes. You mean that can it be multiple paintings of Mona Lisa?
Yeah, with the NFT certification.
Yes, again. If we would have such tool like voting of experts on one hand, and they will be, I think, connected with some legal organizations which will define who was created these NFTs and is he real owner of this image. It will be, this is the way to control it. But for now, it's possible. And this is one of significant problems of near future of NFT market, I think.
Which also can be great for collectors. If there are, for example, 5 Mona Lisas with 5 different NFT certifications, you might want to collect them all. So potentially.
Yeah, on the other hand, yeah, you're probably right.
All right, great. That brings us to the end of the question section. We don't have any more questions posted at the moment. So, Misha, I would like to thank you so much for the insights and for the great presentation and for sharing with us information about the NFT arts. Thank you for everyone who decided to join us in this presentation, either online or who will watch us at the later time on the Conference Z portal. I still would like, Misha, if you have a moment to go to Community Z portal to answer the questions, if there will be any other appearing at the later time to our audience. And for now, I would like to thank you for this speech. I would like to thank the participants who decided to join us. And I would like to invite you to join all of the remaining speeches that we have still presented for you today and in the upcoming days.
Thank you so much. It was great pleasure. It was nice to answer your questions. And I'm very happy that people think about NFTs, about digital art. And it's super duper interesting thing, I think. Yeah. And we are again on the very beginning of beautiful process of digital art originals.
Great. Thank you so much. Wishing everyone a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.